this video is gonna be a little bit deeper than the usual ones, okay? So what I'm gonna be talking about right now is part of my testimony, okay? On like how I started to seek God more and all of that, okay? So I would just get straight into it, okay? So the reason why I started to seek God more was because I'm not gonna lie, I felt like I had no purpose in life, bro. Like every day felt like the same day. All the things I did with my friends was like just repeating over and over again. There was nothing new to do in life. And like half of the things that I was doing, I didn't even want to do it. I was just doing it because everyone was doing it and it was cool, you know? So it's like, yeah, like everything, I just wasn't having fun in life, you know. And like I used to like drown myself in music, thinking that would help me. Like, you know, I used to do things like, you know, I used to just make myself so busy to make my life feel more fulfilled in a way, but none of those things ever filled it, you know. I went to the gym, you know, I went with friends, I still had school, you know, I went out with friends with like sometimes, or like it was just the same things over and over again. And I was like, bro, is this what life is about, you know? And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even go to church like that because like I didn't really live close to one that close to the one that my parents went to. And so yeah, it was just, I felt like I was not living life for myself, and I felt like something inside of me was just like empty. Like I just didn't feel fulfilled with anything that I was doing, literally, okay? And so that's when like there was like this YouTube video that popped up on my YouTube one day, and I was just like, I'm not gonna lie, I felt like depressed, bro. I was like, bro, what is life? What this is life? Wow, this is not fun. Like I did not like life at all, okay? And so on my YouTube there's a video, okay, and it was Phil Kofer, and one of it was talking about, it said the topic was loneliness. Y'all can go watch that if you want to, but as he was speaking, bro, I related to him so much, okay? When I watched that video, I was like, bruh, that is so real, because he was talking about how like in the video it was like, you know, you're like, this is how I felt too. The way I felt was, even no matter how many people were around me, bro, I still felt alone, bro. I felt like, bro, like, am I the only one going through this? Like, one thing with me, like, outside of everyone, like, not outside of everyone, but like when I'm with people, bro, I am the life of the party. Like, I'm like conversation. I like conversations. I like talking to people. You know, I love making people comfortable with me. Okay, and so that, like, yeah, I was a people pleaser. Okay, I loved pleasing people. I loved making people comfortable. I loved talking to people and all of that. But sometimes it got to a point where I was literally just like, I didn't want to not be joyful or happy, because then people would look at me like, oh, yo, like, what's wrong with Delina? Like, you know, like, oh, she, you know? So, like, I constantly had to I constantly had to be, like, this energetic, crazy, type of person, you know? So, it's like, bro, it kind of got exhausting at sometimes. I'm like, bro, like, I'm happy. I'm a happy person, right? But there was, bro, like, I was low-key inside, bro. I was going through it. Really, like, and I didn't really tell anyone about it, because I was like, bro, you know, like, I didn't want to like label it as, oh yeah, I'm like, bro, I don't know why I didn't tell anyone, but I just didn't tell anyone about it. And so I got on my, so basically I got like a lot of YouTube videos about God, like, he been popping up, and I was like, okay, what is it? Like, let me just watch this video. Like, one of them was Phil Kofer, and then Mark the Messenger. If y'all seen him, he was really good. And yeah, so I was just watching loneliness, and that I just related to that so much when Phil Kofer was talking. And so I said, he mentioned God, and I was like, oh, God. Yeah, like, bro, so it was crazy, bro. I said I was a Christian, bro, but I was not living as a Christian should, bro. Like, I just had the label, like, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, lukewarm Christian. I was a lukewarm, bro. I wasn't even Christian. Like, you know, I didn't even go to church or none of that. Like, but I was Christian. I was like, okay, yeah. Let me see what God's about. Like, let's see what God has for me, you know? So I started to seek God more, okay? And through that, you know, okay, so I was like, okay, let me just start to seek God, And so I started to read my Bible. I got a Bible from my mom's prayer room, and I was like, okay, let me start reading the Bible, because I'm not even gonna lie, I didn't even read it before. So this is literally my first year reading the Bible, so I haven't even finished it yet, but I'm going to finish it. And so yeah, so I started to read my Bible and stuff, but I didn't tell no one. Like, I didn't tell nobody. I was like, let me just learn more about God, you know. And so as I was like reading my Bible, like I was still in the world though. I was still like hanging out with the same people. I was still doing the same things. I was still, you know, putting like 10 minutes or 30 minutes from my Bible. You know, I wasn't really like deep into it, right? And so as I started to read my Bible more, I started to get convicted with the things that I was doing in my life. I was like even the conversations that I was having with my friends, I was like, bro, we shouldn't be talking like this. Like, cause literally it says in the Bible, I forgot what verse, but it's like, bro, if you're in the words are not encouraging, uplifting, and talking good about the people, we shouldn't be doing that. And it talks a lot about like gossiping and all of that, right? And so I was like, I got convicted, bro. I was like, bro, why am I feel convicted. I always knew gossiping was wrong, but like after reading the Bible, I was like, bro, I feel like we should not be talking like this. Like, bro, it was so bad. And I like most of the time I just kept quiet. I was like, you know what, let me just, you know, zip. And so yeah, and then bro, it was just it was a journey, okay. And then so yeah, I was still doing the same thing, and every time I did something, bro, I felt convicted. That conviction hit me, bro. The Holy Spirit hit me. That conviction hit me. And so yeah, there was a lot of things. And then okay, so as I was reading the Bible, right? And then let me tell you, I would just jump places because it's been a minute, so I'm gonna just jump to like important topics, you know. So okay, so let me tell you. So I started reading my Bible, cool, you know, started getting closer to God. And then there was this one day, okay, I was praying to God too, like so wait, as I was starting to read my Bible, Prophet Lovey, okay, let me talk to you about him. One thing about him, bro, he helped me so much. I would definitely recommend you. The first video that I watched on how like to read my the first video that I watched on how to read my word was from Prophet Lovey. It's how to read the Bible. And when I saw that, I was like, bro, how you gonna tell me how to read the Bible, you know? But then see, that was ignorance. Like I should have just not said nothing, you know. So but yeah, so I clicked the video, and bro, what he was saying, it was facts. Like I'm telling you, after I watched that video on how to read my Bible, bro, that's when I started to really encounter God, and that's when I started to really have that like connection with God as well, you know, because it's like God is more than just a God. He's a spirit, you know, like he's real. He talks to us through everything, you know. He's here right now. Like like no, just like no, but he's here right now, literally, like, you know. But yeah. So yeah, I definitely would recommend watching Prophet Lovey's how to read the word, because it will definitely help you how to hear God and speak, like, and not hear God. Okay, this is the basics, like, you know, it's the basics. If you guys want to watch that, definitely go watch that. But yeah, so there was this one day, right? I was praying to God too, like I was like, God, you know, as I was seeking Him more and reading my Bible, I'm like, oh my gosh, God, I will never do that. Oh my gosh, God, I will never do that. But see, that's where I went wrong, bro. You cannot say we can never do something, because we are not perfect. We are not perfect human beings. We are going to fall into sin every day. And we cannot say we will never do that, because never say never. That's what I would definitely say. Never say never, because we all fall short of the glory, you know. So, yeah. And so I told God, I was like, bro, I'm not going to do that. You know, I'm not going to fall into no temptations and none of that, right? And so there was this one day. So it was like I don't remember what it was, but it was like a party type of thing, or like, but it was in like I don't know how to explain it. Basically, it was like a celebration, right? And so, bro, like literally, okay, I was in a celebration, cool, right? And I fell into like a sin, right? And I was like, bro, what? Like, that's when the conviction hit me, bro. I'm like, I didn't even want to do this. I was just surrounded by people, and I was like, and like, bro, like that's when it hit me, bro. After that day of me falling into sin in a celebration, bro, I was like, bro, there's no way. I just fell into that. I was like, bro, God's gonna be so mad at me. I can't believe I just did that, and I didn't even want to. And like, it was just something that I didn't want to do, and then I just fell into it because I was, you know, like, I don't know, it was because I was ignorant, you know. So yeah, and then also, yeah, it was just a bad timing and everything, but yeah, it was definitely my fault. And then like I saw the next day, I was like, it was a Sunday, and I was like, bro, like I just felt so convicted. And I saw someone like, okay, I saw someone like they posted like their baptism, and I'm like, okay, let me see, let me ask them, because I felt so convicted. I was like, bro, and I was not happy though. I was sad. I was like, bro, I cannot believe I just fell into that. And so I texted this person. Her name is Melon. I don't know if she'll watch this, but her name is Melon. She posted her little, like, her baptism, okay? And so I slid out. I was like, oh my gosh, let me ask her. And then I texted her. I was like, okay, like, one thing I was just straight up, I was like, bro, how did you find God, and how did you start to see God more? Because I wanted to live for God for real, like, and I just kept on falling into all these things because of the people I was surrounded with, right? And so I was like, bro, like, how do you get closer to God with like other people that are surrounding that are not trying to see God as well, but you're trying to do it? And then, like, you know, because it don't add up, you know. And then something happened, and then I don't know, something happened, and then but basically, let me tell you like a lesson that I learned from let me just continue. And then so yeah, I just started to seek God more. But let me just tell you a lesson that I learned from that. Getting in a relationship with God, bro, like, you're gonna have to do some sacrifice. Like, let me just say this. Okay, so, and then as I start to seek him more, right, like, slowly but surely, like, my friend group circle, you know, I was a conversationist. I had a huge circle of friends that I, you know, talked to and everything like that, right? But like, slowly, as I got to closer to God, he's been slowly like cutting people like out of my life, you know. Stop talking, because if I want to get closer to God, I'm going to have to stop doing the things, you know. And if I'm hanging around some like certain people, you know, I'm going to be doing things that go against what he's like telling us to do, you know. And so I was like, dang, you know. But this was a long type of thing. Like, God knew I had to cut out so many people out of my life, okay. And so he did not do it fast, like slowly but surely, you know. He's like, stop talking to them. And I kept asking, I was like, why, God, why should I cut them off? Why should I cut them off? And I'm like, bro, I did not want to cut off nobody, okay. I just felt bad. I'm like, why? But then slowly he's been just revealing it to me, you know, like he'd been like revealing like people's intentions and everything like that. But yeah, and I was like, dang, like after he showed me like all that, I was like, wow, like literally God only wants the best for me. Like after I started to cut these people off, that's when the truth happened, you know. Like, I was like, dang, I thought we were friends. Like, okay, never mind that. I'm gonna step back, but I'm gonna pray for you though. You know, that's the thing though. You cannot have no bitterness towards anyone, because God forgave us. Okay, so we have to be the same. Like, you know, if we want God to forgive us for our sins, bro, we have to be forgiving to other people. And so yeah, so I just cut off people, and yeah, I was just I just been bro, I've been like, I'm not gonna lie, this walk with God, you kind of have to be alone with God a lot, okay. So I was in a period of isolation and everything for so long that like I just literally only talked to my parents. I went to class, I came back, I got at home, and I read my Bible, and I watched like Prophet Lovey's videos, and I just watched the videos about God, because I got to a point where I was like, bro, that's crazy. Okay, this was also a very long period. It was like probably 7 months, 8 months. So it's like, it was not like just like this fast, you know, because you know, I held on to people. I was like, bro, like, no, I don't want to let go of them, like But then, like, you know, a week, and then he'll show me like I'm like, okay, he'll show me like why I should, and I'm like, okay. But yeah, that was just one thing that, like, bro, to grow with God, you know, you kind of have to, like, you're gonna kind of have to cut your friends, not your friends, right? But if there are people in your life that are holding you back from getting closer to a relationship with God, then God is gonna ask you to remove them from your life, you know. Or he's gonna ask you, yeah, like, because if you're let me just say this: if you're new to seeking God, you can't hang out with people that are going to pull you away from God, because instead of you helping them get closer to God, they're just going to take you to their world. Because like that happened with me too. I'm like, bro, like, you know, what if I can just bring these people and we can all see God together? But it's like, as I was like, you know, hanging out with all these people, like, I was falling in with them rather than that. I was falling into what they were doing rather than bringing them to what I'm doing, you know. So I was like, okay, fine. Like, you know, I'll just like step back from everyone. That's what I did. I stepped back from every single person. Like, when I tell you, everyone, like, except for the people that I live with, like my mom, like my mother, and my siblings and all of that. Like, I literally stepped back from everyone. So like, that's what I was saying. I did it. Yeah. I did it not. I don't know if that was like, I don't know. I felt bad, but I was definitely praying for everyone though. Like I do not want to have no beef with nobody, but like, I just had to step back, you know, because like, one thing we gotta do if we want to get closer to God is, spend time with Him, and if we're out there, like, doing things that we want to do, hanging out with people we want to, what time do we have to spend time with God? So that's one thing that I had to do, was like just step back from everyone. And that's just, that was that. And then, like, there was just a lot of periods of isolation. There was a lot of, but it was, let me tell you, it was good though. I was happy. I'm not gonna lie. I was happy spending time with God. Cause during that time, bro, like, God's just been like showing me and revealing Himself to me, and it was like a lot of reading my Bible, and, a lot of watching videos and everything like that. And like, just in life, He's been like showing me Him. Just so many things, bro. And like, one thing He's been showing me as well is that, like, bro, nothing in this world is gonna satisfy you at all. Okay, so like, bro, the hole that I felt in the beginning of my, what's it called, when I was like low-key depressed, no cap, bro, the hole that I felt in my heart, bro, the God filled it, and I'm not gonna lie, like, this walk with God, like, it's not easy. I'm not gonna lie, it's not really easy, because the whole world is literally against what God is trying to talk. Everything that God is trying to tell us about and teach us about, the world is literally against it. So seeking God in this like seeking God and like getting a relationship with God and all of that, like, you will feel like you are the only one in this earth that is trying to do this thing. You'll feel so alone, but that's why community matters so much. Okay. So that's what I would definitely recommend everyone, is that, like, if you're trying to seek God, try to seek friends that will bring you closer to God, rather than friends that will, just like not, so and also, like, even if they're not seeking God, you can be the person that brings them closer to God as you seek God yourself. So it's like, you don't have to, like, that's what I would say, like, you can't fall into their world, but like, you gotta bring them into your world, but I just pray for everyone. I would definitely say that, like, pray for everyone, for real. Let me teach y'all some things that I learned, and some things that can help you guys as well. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, so let me tell y'all some tips about getting closer to God. Okay, so with God, like, bro, He loves humble people. Okay, so if you are prideful, and if you are, arrogant, or if you are not wanting to be corrected, it's gonna be a little rough. It's gonna be hard to actually build that relationship with God. Okay, so as we get closer to God, we have to be humble and disciplined. Okay, we have to discipline ourselves and be humble towards God, so He can actually speak to us, or so He can actually reveal Himself to us, or so He can actually, like, but what else is there? So even with me, bro, I had like such a low self-esteem. Okay, I had such a low self-esteem. Like, that means is that, like, I did not see myself as valuable, right? And so with this walk with God, with me, with a lot of people, God had to humble people towards Him, right? But for me, God had to build up my self-esteem. Like, it was the opposite way. Like, instead of Him humbling, okay, I'm not gonna lie, I was prideful sometimes. I'm not gonna lie, but with me, like, what God has been doing with me is literally building up my confidence in Him, like, the person I am with Him, because with me, I'm not gonna lie, I had like confidence issues. Like, it might not seem like it, right? It might not seem like it, but I did have confidence issues. And like, I don't know, I was just like so insecure and everything like that. And one thing that God's been helping me is like just finding my identity in Christ. Like, who am I with God, and how is that person, like, how can I become that person, and it's just been a journey. That's what journey I'm on. Like, I'm just finding out myself in God, and He's just been building up my like confidence in myself, because I be having doubt, I be having a lot of things, like, man, but that's just one thing that He's been doing with me personally. And so the one way that let me say a quick tip. Okay, so one way that I quickly build my relationship with God was that, bro, I was so open to correction. Okay, everything that God said that I was doing wrong, if He led me to a scripture in the Bible, that's how in the beginning, that's how God spoke to me too, reading with my word. Like, that was the first way that God has ever spoken to me, was I would pray to Him, and whatever chapter He would place on my mind, I would just go to it, and so so every chapter that He led me to was just either correcting me or definitely correcting me, because before, when I was in the world, BC, before Christ, bro, I need correction for real. Not that like I was doing a lot of bad things, but just like character wise, heart posture wise. He was fixing my heart for real. Like, he was fixing my heart posture for real. But yeah, so one thing that like I did when I was getting closer to God was that, like, bro, I was just so open to correction. Anything God told me, one thing, okay, let me say this. One thing about God is always right. So if he's telling you to do something, or if he's telling you about yourself or something that you need to correct, then you gotta obey, So every time that God corrected me, I was open. I was like, okay, I gotta change this. Like, boom, like, it's, I was just straight to correction. I love helpful criticism. That's the thing about me. I love being corrected, right? But that also came from my low self-esteem. I was like, bro, I think I was too open to correction, where I was just like taking all the, oh, you're bad, oh, you're this, oh, fix this, oh, fix that. But it wasn't like from God, really, but it was like, the way, okay, let me tell you, when God tells you to correct something, bro, it's out of love. So if he tells us to correct ourselves, or correct this, or stop lying, or stop doing this, or stop doing that, it's out of love for us, because he's our father. And like, the father, they be disciplining their sons, so he had to discipline me, and the same way he's gonna have to discipline all of us. But yeah, that's one thing, to be very open to correction, so you can actually grow with God and all of that, because if you're prideful and you're not listening to God, he's gonna turn an ear, bro. He's not gonna listen to you, bro. If you're not gonna listen to him, bro, he won't listen to you, So definitely, what I did, I definitely prayed, like, bro, I was like, God, like, please keep me humble, disciplined, please keep me hungry for your word, please keep me wanting to know you more, and all of that, because there was times that, like in the beginning, where I was like, bro, I don't even know if I want to read my Bible. I'll do this later. I'll do that later. I'll do that later. Do I need to pray tonight? Yeah. Like, that's one thing. Like, bro, we need, prayer and reading your Bible, bro, we need to be doing that daily, okay? Because that's when, yeah, literally, that's where our peace and our love should come from. That's when we should we should just be doing that daily, not out of not out of routine, but out of our love for God, and just you don't have to start big, you can start 10 minutes, 20 minutes and all of that, it doesn't really matter. But as you build your 10 minutes, maybe after you do 10 minutes for a week, you can do 20 minutes, it'll just continuously add up. But yeah, we're talking about this, bro. So a lot of people don't talk about this, okay? I don't know why, but I think it's a lack of knowledge. My people perish from the lack of knowledge, bro. The reason why our generation is kind of going down, bro, is because our lack of knowledge of God, right? So that's why we don't really have a relationship with him or anything like that, okay? And so, okay, let me tell you what. While watching Prophet Lobi, bro, he been revealing to me a lot of things as well, okay? And so it's about it's about spirits and all of that, so basically, I don't know why. Okay, let me tell you, I'm Habesha, right? So a lot of us, we don't really talk. We go to church because we gotta go to church. It's part of our culture, So it's but when we go to church, we don't really be learning things. So I'm very glad that I found people online and everything that I can actually learn from, because in my church and all that, they don't be speaking in English, so I didn't really learn a lot. But they're right.